What's going on, guys? It's been a minute. So, welcome back to Junk Pillow. So, as you guys probably noticed, I've been gone for a little while. The reason why that is I've had some problems with the electrical at the shop, amongst some other things, and getting parts gathered up for the Jeep on a budget. So, today, we're going to do just that. We're going to get the wheels, and we're going to get a lift put on this Jeep for under 600 bucks. Let's do it. So, enough blabbering for me. We're probably gonna go ahead and dig into this thing. I'm too excited not to see this thing. And to be honest with you, my goal for today is to get this thing lifted up, get it on some wheels, get it drivable with the new ignition on it and everything else. And we're gonna try to take it to lunch. If that's gonna happen, we're gonna see. It might be dinner. So to be honest with you, I've never done a lift on a Jeep before. I've honestly owned no Jeeps. I don't think I've owned any Jeeps in my whole life. This is probably my first, and I've never done a lift on them. I don't know if it's difficult or not. I do have an idea because I have second gen Rams and things like that that usually use these puck lifts, as well as we have like things like that. That actually doesn't have a puck lift. This one does though. But I know the experience of it, and it usually isn't like that smooth. So I'm hopeful it's gonna work out, but we're gonna have to see. So alrighty, we're gonna get right into the meat and potatoes, the bread and butter of today's video. We're gonna be lifting and putting some wheels on the Jeep on a budget. We also got, oh my God, a key. So, you might have been wondering where I've been for a month. Well, I had to compile some parts. You realize how hard it is to get Jeep parts on a budget out here? You'd think it'd be a lot easier. Also, finding 5x4.5 wheels, absolutely horrible. Everything is 5x5. I don't know how you Jeep guys do it. But if you guys remember, we got Heep the Jeep here, the Heep-Jeep, whatever you want to call it. At 246,000 miles, this 6.0 liter, $200 Copart purchase of mine. And we're gonna do something cool with it. All right, we got plans. All right, and if you think it's gonna stay this color, you're wrong. We got some plans on that too. Did want to ask though, I mean, seriously guys, if you guys have followed this, if you actually are interested in this build, I need to know, do you guys want to keep these freaking, what are they called? I want to call them like fairings or side skirts or something. Plastic side moldings, whatever it is. They've already been bed linered. And I feel like the Jeep would look a lot better if we just took all this off, painted the back bumper, painted the front bumper when we paint the Jeep, and just make it look, I mean, just a whole lot nicer. So, but anyways, today we got a different focus. How you doing, brown dog? All right, yeah, just act like you didn't hear me, that's fine. But anyways, so if you guys didn't see, we got some Method 18-inch wheels. These, I'll admit, came off of a Ford Ranger. These are a new style Ford Ranger 5x1 14.3. If you guys are familiar with your bolt patterns, you should know that that's a 5x4.5 if you look at it. So he did hand me these spacers. I did not know that they were hub centric, so if they actually do mount on this Jeep and everything works correctly, I might actually use these because they are hub centric. But obviously we'll have to get some either some new studs or probably, yeah, wait a minute, yeah, that don't look right. Is that just the angle, or am I angle at the dingle maybe? I don't know, but that looks a little, yeah, anyways. So if you guys didn't already look, we've got the cheapest lift kit you can do for these things. And yes, I accidentally totally ordered a 3-inch front and rear. I didn't mean to. I believe I meant to do, I think it was 2.5 front, maybe 3 rear, something along those lines. But instead, I got the 3-inch all around. So we're gonna see just how drivable this thing can be when we get that on there. But man, I'm excited. Look at these. You can't tell me those aren't cool. And they fit great. I think the lift will do a little bit of justice. They are a little oversized, so, you know, a good lift will probably make it look a little bit better. Does it need a lift to clear these? Probably not, but I also think I'm going to use those wheel spacers because the hub centric, as you can see, does not match the Jeep. So if the hub centric on that will match the Jeep, we can use those, and those will honestly be more safe than not running anything with a hub centric or getting one of those little rings, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll be damned, but it's that's the one. No, that's it, bro. Like, that'll actually work. So we're gonna have wheel spacers, I guess, too. That's pretty slick. I'm gonna have to find some extra lug nuts for that, but either way, cool. I don't think I have any lug nuts that'll fit that, but for now we're probably gonna use just the wheels on the hubs, but eventually we'll throw those on there, because why not? The brakes are looking pretty good. Everything, as I said before, looks rust-free, except for that. Goodness, that hitch needs to go. Ooh, I'm scared of what that hitch is about to do to that frame rail. But anyways, big objective that we have today is somehow, some way, we got to drop this axle down far enough to get that puck in between here. Might I add, I do not own a spring compressor, so we're gonna figure out how to get this thing out of here safely, without causing too much havoc. Obviously, I'm not gonna do that with the jack on the axle, but I need to get the wheels off first so I can kind of get it lower, because we got to get some jack stands on it. But let's get this other wheel off over here. We'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we're back. We've got the spacer in the rear. I ended up doing both sides without you guys. I know, I'm just known for that, but I wanted to get this done. It wasn't really a whole lot of fun whenever I did the other side. This side ended up really getting stuck on me. I ended up getting the bolt out for, I believe it's the panhard bar, but the panhard bar wouldn't actually move in there. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to remove it in the first place, because I know just how hard it is to get those things back in with my F bodies that I used to have. So with that being said, we ended up getting it in. I ended up using the jack, and this is not a smart thing to do, but I kind of sandwiched it between the gas tank and the axle. Kind of just drank it up a little bit. You didn't hear that from me though. But plastic tank, don't do that. Could cause holes. Hell, there could be a hole. I don't know. It's not leaking though. That's all PV spray. So anyways. So I ended up actually taking off, or keeping off, one of the lug nuts from the other side, because it's pretty stripped out. Luckily, I think I may have lucked out, and these lug nuts may work on these wheels. I kind of knew when I was doing this whole situation that I should have bought a lug nuts, but I mean, if I can get away with these for right now, everything else goes smoothly, we'll get it all fixed up later. Way better than I actually imagined it would with these wheels. This was such a, I can't even express to you. I'd been talking to this dude for like a week on Marketplace and could never get out to him. Finally got out to him, finally decided, you know what, these are the wheels, these are the ones that I'm going to go with. I picked these up for $450 with the tires on them. And man, gosh, them things just do justice, man. They do real good justice on this thing. I think this is one of the better wheels I could have got for this setup. And it's not just steel wheels, you know what I mean? Like, this is actual offset on them. They look legit. And the bead locks, you can't go fucking wrong with bead locks, can you? I mean, come on, it's a Jeep, right? I do have to come back in here just real quick and zap these. Don't think I forgot about them. But I had to set it on the ground just real quick because I was so excited about it. Man, I could actually start to see myself driving this now. I'm sorry for all those who love these bullet hole wheels. I have a weird love for them on my heart as well, but they just aren't enough offset. And when I tell you that those already are looking pretty good, I don't even know if I'm going to put spacers on it. I think honestly, if it looks just as good in the front, I'm happy with that. It already comes out to the fender. That looks fine. I'm totally happy with that. So if that'll look just like that, I probably won't even run spacers. I'll probably just go get those hub-centric rings that you can put in there and do that the right way, as well as some lug nuts, because obviously those aren't going to be a long-term situation. So next, we've got to get the front done. I feel like the front's going to suck more because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get away with the panhard bar. I'm going to call it that just because I'm not positive if that's what it's called. And I know Jeep guys are probably crucifying me, but in the F-bodies, that's what it's called. So I'm going to call it the panhard bar. I do not feel like it's going to come off as well as the back one, and it's going to end up having to come off, I'm sure, in the front. So we'll see how that works out, but man, getting the rear done was the right thing to do, because I can tell you what, this gave me a whole new imagination on what the front's gonna look like. Let's try to get this front done in a decent time and see if we can't still take this thing to lunch. I had my neighbor come over here and distract me a little bit with some conversation, which is totally okay, but put me a little bit behind. So I'm gonna need to get trucking on this front end and get this thing done before we're gonna get this thing done between any good time. Alrighty guys, we got the front wheels pulled off of it. The front's jacked up. That's OSHA approved for sure. Everything is looking legit here. I don't see any big leaks, anything going on. I do have a looseness in the front end that eventually I'm gonna have to figure out, but all we gotta do, from what I understand, I haven't looked at any instructions on this. I'm just doing basically second gen rules. Remove the sway bar end links and or the sway bar itself. Remove your shock. Eventually this is going to fall down. I may end up having to remove the panhard bar. I can't, tow bar, I don't know. Anyways, but you get what I mean. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and start on those bolts, get everything removed. I can already tell I'm gonna hate every second of this. Jeep, what the fuck? But anyways, so let's get this front end wiped out so we can start on that ignition and try to get some food. So how are we looking so far? Well, we're just about done with the front. This is the last spacer to go in. I'm gonna be the first to tell you, if you've never done Jeeps before, if you've never done a lift before, the immediate things that you need to disconnect to get this done, the minimal things that you need to disconnect to get this done, you're gonna have to disconnect your front sway bars, whether it's up here, down here. I prefer down here because this spins and these don't. These are just bolts that go through. Pull those off. You're gonna wanna pull your panhard bar. You're gonna also wanna pull these two bolts for these lower control arms. Leave the front ones in, or the upper ones in. No problem with that at all on clearance. Once you get these lower, you'll be able to slide this in. You'll be able to get this in at an angle. Then with the pry bar, you're gonna get under it some sort of fashion. Try not to lose a finger, and you're gonna shove it back onto the mount. You get this little piece of sheet metal, kind of like an alignment tab, that basically holds down your spring so it doesn't go flying. But other than that, that's pretty much all you've got to do to get the spring and the front end to drop down enough, other than the jack itself, and putting the hot truck up high enough. As you notice, I did that before because I was so used to second gens. You've got to put the truck high enough to where the axle can damn near drop on the ground. And once you do that, you'll be able to get the springs in. Everything's going to fall into place. So now you're going to get your jack. You're going to put it right under here, and you're going to start jacking it up. And while you do that, you're going to watch that control arm and make sure you guide it back into place. Well, guys, after a tough 4 hours, we finally got this thing done. It came out better than I even expected. And I'm pretty excited to show you. So without further ado, here is part 2. Wheels are all set. We got the ignition on it. Need to get some new lug nuts. May still run the spacers, not sure. The center of the wheel actually looks fantastic. You got to account for the fact that this bumper's messed up, but that actually looks really good. I was able to get the ignition in, so we're all set now. Nothing looks sketchy. And man, I think that I am about $1,100 in this Jeep so far. And I don't think I could be happier with it at that price point. Obviously, we're still not done. I've got to do some body work. We got to do definitely some paint. I'm thinking black. I'm thinking doing the whole thing black. I mean, everything included. So yeah, guys, after a super long day, we finally got that thing looking sharp. I am excited about it. I do kind of enjoy it a little bit better than the Durango sitting behind it, so we're pretty debatable on who's going to be my new winter beater next year, but right now, the Jeep's got my heart. So yeah, guys, I was really happy to be able to bring you this video today. I'm sorry it's taken me so long, and it may not be like the best video that I've made, but I hope you guys can understand. Stay with me. I'm trying to figure out how to do this whole video thing and learning how to talk to you guys and not feel weird, because I've got a lot of people that watch and stuff like that, and I just want to make sure that I get videos out for you guys, and I want to make sure that I can try to put one out every 2 weeks. That's my goal. So I am getting down and dirty on getting all of these projects done. I've got the shop to do. I've got that car to do. I've got a bunch of cars that I need to finish up for highway patrol. Some cars you haven't even seen. You haven't even seen my Firebird, my other Firebird, the 3000 GT. You've seen nothing. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. If you stick with me, I've got a lot of projects, a lot of cool things that I would love to bring to you guys. We're back, and this is the end of the video. This is about all we have to do today. It's already getting dark here in Missouri. So at the end of this, what do you guys think? Did we do a good job? For $1,100, do you think you could beat this? Did you have a better Jeep that you paid less for that looks better than this and has a greater setup? Let us know. I'm curious. I gotta know. I really wanted one of these 5.2 ones. I know that's a weird piece of information, but I wanted the 5.2 version so bad, or the 5.9 one. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, as always, tuning in to Junk Built. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled, as we're not going to be done with this and a lot more projects very soon. See you later, guys.